Welcome everyone to a beautiful day in a very loud shop. There's a lot of work being done right now on this car and some other cars because I have my friend Justin over there from Clarity Code and I have Jared over here and he's working on the Bentley. But the Bentley is not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about this. This is my 2003 Lamborghini Murcielago. It's a screen used one in Fate of the Furious. You guys know this car because I've made tons of videos about it and it is almost ready for SEMA. Now I do have to kind of yell into the camera because we have all the fans going. It still is really, really hot in Florida. But right now, I'm going to focus on this. This is the engine bay and it's looking pretty sorry for itself. You can see that it's just a dusty mess. You can see that this exhaust is still oversprayed and it doesn't sound very good. So this car is getting a 100% complete makeover. But I want to talk to you guys about your own makeovers. And let's be honest, I sort of need one too. Thankfully, today's sponsor has that covered. I'm talking about Dollar Shave Club. So if you guys are like me and you spend all your time working on cars with your friends, then sometimes you forget to shave. Thankfully, Dollar Shave Club has you covered, and they'll take care of all your grooming needs, from shower, oral care, deodorants, and most importantly, shaving. So what we have here is everything you're gonna need to get an incredibly smooth shave. This is their shave starter set. So it includes an executive handle. This is premium and weighted. It has blades and it has Dr. Carver's Easy Shave Butter. This stuff is the best stuff on the market. I use it all the time. Well, when I'm not busy working on cars. Now this is way more convenient than going to the store and it's super cheap. For a limited time, new members get their first month of the executive razor with a tube of Dr. Carver shave butter for only $5. After that, the restock box ships regular size products at a regular price. So go to dollarshaveclub.com/Tav to get your first starter set for just $5. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Tav. Go there right now. So let's begin. This is the 6.2 liter V12 for my Lamborghini Murcielago, and it's looking a little bit sorry for itself. It's not too bad. It actually runs pretty good.
It's on fire! Uh-oh, fire extinguisher.
This is not what a Lamborghini engine should look like. This is very, very dirty. It's a movie car after all. What we're gonna do is we have to put all the carbon fiber panels here. We're going to redo the exhaust to give it a nice F1 style howl, growl. What do they sound like?
It's like a finely tuned horse.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're gonna make this into a finely tuned horse. And the way we're gonna do that is with this. This is the Fabspeed exhaust. And this is gonna make the car sound as fast and furious as it looks. Now, a lot of you have told me that this is exactly what I needed to get that F1 growl, that F1 finely tuned horse sound. Because Paul Wallace, Supercars of London, had this on his LP640 and it sounded amazing. And as soon as I heard that, I knew I had to have one. So I got their Lamborghini Murcielago Super Sport X pipe system, and they had it made specifically for me. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that touch a lot. But this should be a complete bolt-on affair, and it's actually going to be pretty easy because the only thing I have to undo is this right here and this right here. But before we do any of that, we have to put the carbon fiber panels on, and that's these guys right here. They're looking a little bit sorry for themselves. They ain't too good, and they're very, very thin and flimsy, but they are all here. So I'm gonna give them a bit of a polish, and then we're gonna put them up to the car, and then it should look a little bit better. Also, I'm gonna clean the engine, because, ugh. right, it's looking so much cleaner. Now, this is not 100% obviously, but we polished all the, well, raised lettering and all this stuff, and we made sure that all the loose dirt and all that stuff is completely gone, except for that one, just so I can show you what the before and after is. That's a real big difference. But this engine bay is still pretty dirty because none of the carbon fiber panels are on. But before we can do that, we have to clean them up. Look at how bad they look. This is a very expensive piece. Actually, all of these are very expensive pieces, but they look like complete garbage. And Justin is about to show us how to clean this, because I know how to clean stuff usually, but I'm just a little scared of ruining this finish.
This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Well, I mean, tell me how you really feel.
I feel like this has been abused.
Okay.
And what I'm going to try and do is break up some of the surface, and then we're going to polish it.
This is actually pretty thin. Do you think that there's enough there to sand?
It'll be fine.
Okay. So what do you? So what's the procedure? Because I want to learn, just in case I have another one of these.
Please don't. We're going to use just a really simple intensive, like just a cleaner, something that's going to try and break down some of the dirt, wipe it off, and then what we'll use is an older pad just to try and get rid of any of the overspray. So I think from over the years of whatever it's been going through, built up some sort of crap on top of it.
I don't think it's the years. I think it's probably when they were filming and they didn't give a crap about any of this. It was those 300 miles when Universal had it, and all the problems came from there. Guys, check that out. This looks, dude, this looks brand new.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
this was a little bit harder than you thought, right?
yeah, we've actually had to do some 2,000 sanding, some 3,000 sanding, some 4,000 sanding, just to get it to look like this.
And then we went over with compound, and then we went over with polish. Now, there are some deep scratches here. Like, this stuff is really, really hard to get out, and I don't think you can get this out without going into the fiber itself. But as far as something being presentable, this is definitely presentable. So let's see. Let's kind of offer it up to the car and get a sneak preview of what it's going to look like. And like that. Dude.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that looks really good. I like that a lot. So there's a bunch of other carbon fiber panels. Can you?
You don't even have to say the words. Will I fix that?
Yes. Can you fix those?
Maybe.
Okay. Let's maybe fix that. And while you're doing that, I'm going to install the exhaust that's somewhere in here. So we're kind of gonna do a simulcast where I'm gonna put a camera on you, and then I'm gonna put a camera on myself. We're gonna get this exhaust off. By the way, if you guys don't know what this exhaust sounds like, here's what it sounds like. Okay. Andrew, did you hear that?
Huh?
And then I put an exhaust on that sounded like this. But now you get to see a montage of me taking this off. Oh my gosh, this is next level. It just looks so good, and it was pretty easy to install. I didn't have to reuse any of the hardware. It came with these V-bands from the stock exhaust, and we have another one right here, and I had to just reuse this little swivel spring mount just so this can move a little bit up and down. So I know a lot of you wanted that single exit LP640 exhaust, but this is actually more true to the Fast and Furious movie. This had well, the car had a stock exhaust on it, and this just looks a little bit more stock, but it looks a little more mean. So before I start it, gotta take that out. And I almost don't want to ruin the sticker. Let's just put this over here. Well, now that I have composed myself, I am actually sweating, not because it's hot, but because this is exactly what I wanted from this car. This is now that F1 sound that I've been waiting for, and it's all thanks to this Fabspeed exhaust. I thought that the LP640, the later model, had that F1 sound because it had a different engine. Turns out it was just the exhaust. Can you tell I'm excited? Well, I am excited. This thing shoots flames, this thing sounds amazing, and it's gonna look amazing because we still have to put those carbon fiber panels on. I am really tired, I am really dirty, but now I'm very excited to get this thing back together.
You're wrenching. I thought you didn't do that anymore.
Well, I mean, let's cut this. So let's make a little tally here. Now we have the exhaust on, we have the engine cleaned, we have the carbon fiber pieces on. I even repainted some of the pieces here. This looks brand new. This looks so good. If you looked at what this car was when I first got it, this looks like a new car. Now this obviously has some pieces missing and some panels. Like this is only for mock-up because I do have to put the bat wings in. I do have to do some polishing. Actually, Justin over there has to do some polishing. Yeah, he's been hard at work. I mean, he did a really good job with all of this. And I did some fiddly work in here just to make sure nothing was fouling on anything. And this exhaust was as good as it could be as far as fitment. And it really is. I mean, this thing sounds awesome. I can't wait to get this on the road. And I can't wait to button everything else up. Hey, it's me from the future. And I wanted to answer a few questions before you guys asked them. Now, don't worry that the car is already sort of polished. That's going to be coming up in the next episode, but this exhaust is a little bit different than other exhausts that I've tried in the past, and I know that you guys want to know why this sounds the way it does. So the reason why the stock exhaust made all these weird turns and bends is because the stock exhaust was made to have cats right here cats right here, and then a huge muffler section. I mean, this was a huge box that took up the entire rear of the car. I think you save like 60 pounds over the stock muffler, and it just sounds amazing. This is exactly what the car needs to make power, and this right here is what makes that power, well, makes some of that power possible. So this X section actually uses something called exhaust scavenging, meaning that when an exhaust pulse goes through here, it actually sucks the exhaust pulse through here, and that effect compounds, and that actually makes more power. So these are Fabspeed's own resonators, and I did have resonators on my other setup, but I wager that these are actually tuned for the sound. I know that they have a lot of R&D into it, and these are probably better quality than the ones I got on Amazon. So now I bring you back to the regularly scheduled program where I don't have as much polishing done. Now the car doesn't really need much more. I mean, we're pretty much done, except for the fact that there is a lot of work to do. There's so much more work to do. And in the next episode, that is when we're gonna finish this car. So that is gonna be it for today's episode. I'd like to give a special thanks to our sponsor today, Dollar Shave Club. Go check them out in the video description below. But until next time, this is me reminding you guys that on cars like this, that will be basically finished in the next episode and SEMA ready, you guys need to wrench every day.